Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Om Shri Ramachandraya Namaha. Atulita Baladhamam Hemashailaabhadeham Danujavana Krishanum Jnaninam Agraganyam Sakala Guna Nidhanam Vanaranam Adhisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatan Namami. Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatan Namami. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Om Dhyayami Chinmayanandam Gurudevam Mahamatim Prema Purnam Kriyashilam Sada Lokahite Ratam Kripalum Sundarakaram Samartham Satyadarshinam Vacha Tattva Prakashinya Shoka Moha Vinashinam. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Namah Shri Tulsi Dasa Sadvaristhaya Dhimate Puritam Hridayam Yena Rama Premamrite Nami. Om Shri Tulsi Dasaya Namaha. Hari Om, a warm welcome. Whenever Param Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananji used to conduct camps, more so at a place called Siddhabari in Himachal Pradesh. I don't know whether I have shared this thought, but let me repeat it if it's a repeat. And obviously, Pujya Gurudev used to speak in English. And people from all over the world would come. Just not India, all over the world would come. There would be 700 people, 800 people for camps. And in the afternoon, maybe at 4 o'clock, one class would be in Hindi. And that would be taken by Pujya Guruji Swami Tejomayananji in Hindi on Tulsi Ramayana. So people went and asked Gurudev, Swamiji, you said this camp is in English. Why do you take, why one Hindi class? Most of us don't understand. Gurudev said, doesn't matter. Go and sit in the class. Why? Time and again, he will utter the Nama of Bhagavan, Rama. The name Rama will come time and again. Listen to that. That is sufficient. That is the glory of the very Nama of Bhagavan Sri Rama. Think. And this is what Tulsi Das ji said. What did he say? Rama Katha Jaga Mangala Karani. This is what we saw in the last class yesterday. Rama Katha, Bhagavan's Katha, Jaga Mangala Karani, will bring good to the entire universe. Therefore, go and sit in the class, he would say. Whenever he says Rama, silently you also say, repeat Rama. Good. And believe me, everybody used to come and sit there. And half of them who said they cannot understand Hindi, understood Ramayana. That is Bhagavan's glory. How many of us can understand this, you see? And now we find in this section, Chand has been introduced. What is this Chand here? We have seen Chaupai, we have seen Sortha, and we have been seeing Dohas. Wherever the number is, they are all the conclusion of the section. Now here, Chand. This is the first type of Chand which is being introduced. There are several types. Little metrical differences will be there. We will see. Very interesting meter. I will try to do my best. Mangalakarani Kalimalharani Tulsi Katha Raghunath ki Gati Kura Kabita Sarita ki Jo Sarita Pavan Path ki Prabhu Sujas Sangati Bhaniti Bhali Hoi Sujan Man Bhavani Bhava Anga Bhuti Masana ki Sumirata Suhavani Pavani. How beautiful. Tulsi Das ji says, Tulsi means what? Tulsi Das ji. Raghunath ki Katha. The story of Raghunath ki Katha is before Raghunatha. So one should not misunderstand. Tulsi Katha, he is telling to Raghunatha. No. Raghunath ki Katha, which is Mangalakarani, which is Kali Malaharani. All the negativities in the Kali Yuga, all the evils in the Kali Yuga, Harani, which will remove. And then he says, Gati Kura Kabita Sarita Ki Jo Sarita Pavana Pata Ki. So beautiful. He says, Gati means path. The way, the direction, the katha goes. Jo Sarita Pavana Pata Ki. Now, see, this is a very beautiful thought we have to think. All of us have seen rivers. How does the river go? I would definitely not step behind to share the experience. Recently, when I was talking about my yatra towards Nepal, at Nepal, that road is very small in the Pahadis, in the mountain ranges, and the road, most of the roads go near a river, adjacent to the river. Either the river is along the way or it is in the opposite direction. It goes along with the rivers, and what a beautiful sight. The waters, when they flow down, water always flows down, we know. When it is small pebbles, it carries the pebbles all along. The pebbles don't affect the flow of water. And let us suppose the pebbles are little big. If the bigger stones are not very well grounded, even those are carried along. Let us suppose it's a little big stone. It is well rooted there, well settled there in that river bed. Then what happens? The water goes, dashes on that stone and splashes upwards on the air. Think, when it splashes, that splash is so beautiful. Actually, it is an obstruction for the river to flow, but that obstruction also becomes beautiful when the flow is, and when the water dashes on that stone. And the flow is very good, and there are bigger stones, boulders. Then the splash is very forceful, and the water that is thrown up is much higher. Recently, we have seen cyclone in Gujarat, Maharashtra, Gujarat, etc. All through the path, the shore we found, and the TV was showing, it was showing such huge tides, isn't it? When you go towards the seashore, especially on the Amavasya day, during Amavasya, the tides are very high. The force of the wind is very high. And now here, coming back to this river example, when it dashes on the boulder, but it can do nothing to the boulder. So what does it do? Quietly it turns its course of flow. Please note, many times the river flows as though in a direction that it is returning. The course of the flow may change, but it will never go to the source, because the source is upwards and the water flows downwards. All it does is it turns its course, it twists itself, turns itself, and sometimes it splits also. In front of that boulder, they split on either side and again regain that momentum. Again they come together and continue to flow. Just because the course, it takes a turn, it doesn't mean it has deviated from the path. It doesn't mean it will go to the source. But it will twist and turn and go back to its path, and it will continue. Here, in this Katha also you will find, Rama Katha. In fact, in many narratives, stories, when you see, there are two different spots which is being presented. Here in Rama Katha, when Ramchandraji is asked to leave the palace for the king, for the forest, Sumitraji goes along with him, leaves him at Chitrakoot, and he has to come back. When Ramchandraji is going out of the palace, then he meets that tribal king, etc., etc. The focus is on that, the camera, if we can mean it so. A camera is placed there. Now the director cannot show both at that forest area, and he cannot also show together the palace where Dasharatha has almost collapsed. The whole Ayodhya is in tears, and there Ramchandraji is going in the forest. Sumantraji is taking him. Both cannot be shown at 10. So what they do, the directors, first they focus here, show what is happening there. And then, now at the same time, or meanwhile, sometimes they put that notion, caption, meanwhile, 3 dots, and then they show Dasharatha, and they show the palace. Isn't it? Similarly, there is always a forward-backward movement, like the river. Isn't it? Gati kura kabita. The gati, the path may take a turn, but sarita pavana pathaki, all through the path, pavanakari. It is purification only. Prabhu sujasa sangati bhaniti bhali hoi. Prabhu Sujasa Sangati. Bhaniti, that particular composition which I have made, it may not be in Samskrita, but that what is being composed, Bhali hoihi, it will only bring good. Why? Prabhu Sujasa Sangati. It actually is about Bhagavan. Prabhu Susangati. It talks of the glories of Bhagavan. Therefore, Bhali hoihi. It will only be good. Sujana Manabhavani. Those good people who are listening will definitely enjoy. They will revel. It is such beautiful composition. In fact, I reiterate, I have told earlier also, as it is, Tulsi Ramayana, Ramcharitamanas is perfect. Absolutely perfect. But then the humility of Tulsi Dasji. And he says, very interesting example he gives. Bhava Anga Bhuti Masana. Bhava means Shiva Maharaj, Shivaji, Maheshwara. What does he do? Anga Bhuti. He smears, Bhuti means what? Ashes. Now we get very good ashes, we get, if you go to the store, you will get, what is that? Javad Vibhuti from Parani. Perfumed Vibhuti. Very soft, and people prefer that particular brand, most of us who are used to wearing Vibhuti. Then they take and then full, or they do, it is available. Perfumed Vibhuti. But here what is it? Bhuti Masaniki. Shivaji smears Vibhuti taken from what? From the corpse, burnt corpse. Mashaniki. Isn't it? Think. Mashaniki Sumirata, he smears. But the one who thinks of Bhagavan, Sri Ramchandra Ji, Sumarata, Suhavani Pavani, it only brings Pavani, only brings goodness. And think of Bhagavan Shivaji, even though he smears Vibhuti from the Mashana, from the crematorium, still thinking of Bhagavan Shivaji brings purification, brings glory, brings blessings to all of us. How beautiful, isn't it? Further, in the Doha, where he concludes this 10th section, he says, Priyalagi ati sabhi mama bhanati rama jasa sang daru bicharu ki karai ko bandiya malaya prasang syama surabhipaya bisada ati gunada karahi sab pan gira gramya siya ram jasa गावहि सुनहि सुजान सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. In the Doha he says, Priyalagihi ati subhi mama. Mama bhanati. Mama bhanati means that which I have bhaniti, that which I have composed. What is it? Tulsi Ramayana. And Priyalagihi. All the good people will enjoy. Why? Rama Jasa Sangha. It is associated with Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra Ji's Yasha. And then he gives an example. Dharu bicharu ki karai ko. He says, Bandiya Malaya Prasanga. Malaya means mountain. There is a mountain, this is the example that is given. In a mountain, let us say, all the trees will not be of sandalwood. Isn't it? There will be maybe some 4 or 5 trees, maybe they're sandalwood. But that 4 or 5 trees will spread the fragrance of the sandalwood in the entire mountain. Is it not? All the trees will not be sandalwood. Similarly, even though, now see, Bandiya Prasanga, because of Prasanga of Ramchandraji's glories, even though my writing is not appropriate, the presentation may be wrong, the words chosen may not be appropriate, I might not have skillfully presented, still it has the flavor, it has the fragrance, it has the beauty, it has the value of Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra Ji. And therefore he says, another very wonderful example he gives. He says, Syama Surabhipaya Bisada Ati. Syama means dark. Surabhi here refers to cows. A dark cow. Paya Bisada Ati. A dark black cow. What is that milk which it gives? It will not be dark. Even though the cow is dark, milk will be white only. And what does that do? It nutritious. It is nutritious. It nourishes the children, the youth, the middle-aged man, the old-age people, the sick people, downtrodden, wealthy people, anybody for that matter. Milk provides nutrition. It nourishes the one who drinks the milk. Whichever cow it comes from, milk will be white. Similarly, even though my composition may not be perfect, he says, Gira Gramya, my language which I have taken is a dialect, Gramya Bhasha, villagers' Bhasha. It is not Deva Bhasha, Samskrita. In fact, one point I would like to make a mention here. Normally we find the granthas of written in Samskrita is translated into very many regional bhashas. Like Tulsi Ramayana is translated into Kannada, Tamil Bhasha, or even Telugu, etc., etc. It has been translated. Both transliterations available and translations are also available. Both are available. And it is written in their regional language also. But very interestingly, you will find Tulsi Ramayana, which is in a dialect of Hindi, written in Audhi Bhasha, has been translated in Samskrita. Think. Tulsi Rama is available in Samskrita, but the original text is so popular, everybody would love to listen to that, and it is so beautiful. And Gramya, Gira Gramya Siya Ramajasa. Everybody, now see, he said, Gunada Karahi Sabapana, just as milk which is very good for everybody drinks milk, like similarly, Gavahi Sunahi Sujana, all Sajjana, good people. We have already made this, we have clarified this. Though we say all listen, it always means Sajjana, Sujana, good people. Kutarahi, we will leave them. The good people, noble people who understand the value of this grantha, who understand the glory of Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra Ji, who has a love and devotion towards Bhagavan, they will sunahi, they will listen. This he is very confident. Now this is very important. Very many people write. Lot of people write. There are a lot of writers. Even in the Laukika Bhasha, Laukika Vishaya, people write. So many people write, and there is nobody to read. How many of us, let alone others, how many of us in our own houses, how many books we might have, do we read everything? No. That which entices me, enchants me, I might read, and that too no guarantee that I will read the entire book, isn't it? And there are some people who write and there are no readers. So what do? They make it available in the internet. They post it in the internet. and wait for views and comments and likes, etc., etc. And suppose, let us say, they manage to gather some money, or if they are wealthy, they have got lot of money, let us say, they publish that book, get the book printed. Still there may not be readers. What do? They send it to everybody. They post it to everybody, to people in the other cities and towns or countries. They post it. And people who receive it also, there is no guarantee that they will read. That is a condition today. Is it not? In fact, reading habits have almost come down quite a lot. Today, the mobile has taken away all the wonderful time which we have, wonderful opportunities which we have. Think. How much we waste our time in this? You open the mobile, you wanted to check, one message came, notification came. So you pull down and check the notification. Then open the notification. Then you read whatever has come, you read. Will you put it off and keep it aside? Think. You have people who are so much addicted to mobile. Morning to morning, not morning to night. Midnight tak, people keep, scrolling. Think. What wonderful things are available for us. How many good opportunities are available for us. And look at this. Such a great grantha is available for us to educate ourselves, about ourselves, for ourselves. Think. For us to grow inward and turn the path from Vishaya Sakti to Bhagavan Asakti. We can turn. And so many varieties, so many examples, so many anecdotes, so many way of presentations are given to us so that we can think and turn our direction of thoughts towards Bhagavan. But how many of us have time for all that? Why? Vishaya Sakti. That is why Tulsi Das ji time and again says Sujana. Sujana means what? Good people who understand the importance of Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra ji, who know the glory of Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra ji, who can take lessons from the lifestyle of Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra ji. Think. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvatah, says Bhagavad Gita. Sahasreshu, thousands, in fact, sahasreshu, asankhyaartam, sahasra means asankhyaartam, innumerable people. Manushyanam sahasreshu, kaschit, a handful set themselves into this path of Atma Vidya. Yatatam api siddhanam, those people who have set themselves in the path of sadhana, siddhanam, they accomplish the knowledge of Bhagavan. But more often we see it is a scholastic knowledge. Think. Bookish knowledge. You start one mantra, I can complete the entire Upanishad. You start a shloka, I can chant the entire Bhagavad Gita. That so many people can do that. Yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. Very, 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 very few come to understand me in my true nature. Think. Why is it that? Because of our weakness. Because of our inability to turn away from the impermanent things towards the permanent Bhagavan. We are pulled down. We are dragged to all the whims and fancies of the world. And more often we find, even though I know Intellectually, logically, scientifically, rationally, I know this is not what I am looking forward to. This is not going to give me that permanent joy which I want. Still, I succumb to the pressure for pleasure. And therefore, so many times our priority changes from the ultimate Bhagavan to impermanent Vishaya. And the one who has understood the ephemeral nature of the entire world, who has understood the importance of me going further to end the cycle of change. Think. Such a person is called Sujana. Noble people, sadhakas, and such people, sunahi. They will listen to what? What gavahi, that I have sung. In what way? Gramya. Why does that happen? Siya Rama Jasa. What I have sung in the Gramya Bhasha is nothing but Jasa, Yasha of Siya Rama, of Mata Sita ji and Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra ji. Think, so beautiful. Ram Nama. Very beautiful song. Ram Naam Jap Lena, Ye Jeevan Banana, Ye Jeevan Do Din Ka, Ye Jeevan Do Din Ka. This life is like our so-called, even if we are 96 not out, is ephemeral. It is as good as just 2 days. That's all. You know, there are so many bhajans which bring the glory of Bhagavan. Time and again, wherever it is appropriate, we will include that small bhajans which tells us, turn your attention. Turn your attention. Gurudev used to say, you take a U-turn towards yourself. Yourself here meaning what? That Parabrahma Swarupa Paramatma Bhagavan who is there in you. We will continue tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om